All right, for October 12th, for watch a monster movie every day of October, and then me review it, we have The Wolfman from 1941 on 4K. Join us on a tale of the duality of man. Okay, so this werewolf movie, well, it's called Wolfman, whereas the other one was called Werewolf of London. As far as I can tell, they're not connected at all. There's not any kind of a sequel or anything at all like that. But this is a 4K, so this is included in the 30 movie set, but I happen to have it on 4K, so that's what I'm watching. And I will say, it looks incredible. The depth of the picture from the lights to the darks, the film grain is very clean and stable. And I think what I noticed the most on these is that it has almost like a 3D like image when it has so much detail. And the audio, there's not a ton to say about like the 2.0 DTS HD Master Audio, but it's really clean and clear, and you can hear everything. It really starts standing out towards the end when there's really intense music building and building. But yeah, so as far as the 4K goes, it looks really good. There was a few shots that were kind of the detail was washed out by the fog, like maybe even the fog getting in the cameras or something when he's walking on the street. But for the most part, the fog is complimentary and comes through looking really good. Okay, you may have also noticed in the credits that this is the first time that they've done the thing where they show the actors with their names before the movie starts. Okay, so guess who these two guys are in relation to each other? Just take a good look at them. So, that guy in the middle is supposed to be that guy's dad. Seriously. He's like, hey, Dad. And he's like, hey, son. And it's like, sorry, your brother died. Okay, well, I'm here to do stuff because my brother died. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, dad, son. Nope. Not buying it. I don't know. I just wasn't buying it. I mean, they play it really well, but it did not look convincing at all. It's like Sean Connery and Harrison Ford, except for I think Sean Connery and Harrison Ford in The Last Crusade. I think Sean Connery does look older than him because he's all grayed out. But I did look up their ages. They're only 7 years apart, so yeah, I don't know if they're like, yeah, no one will be able to tell with the black and white or whatever, but yeah, the age difference was a little weird, a little bit jarring. However, that being said, they both do a really, really good job. Yeah. All right, okay, maybe I pointed the wrong person. Dad, son. There you go. I maybe included that third guy and it made it all weird. Okay, so once he gets reunited with his dad that had him when he was only 7 years old, thus introducing this as a fantasy world and fantasy movie, thank you, they have their giant telescope. And look at that view they get. So the telescope, maybe it's like a Dr. Seuss one where it comes out the window, bends down, and goes down onto the road. I don't know. But this telescope is about to show the real creepiness of this guy right here. Okay, so then it's the son's turn, Larry, to use the telescope, and he's just looking around town, and he sees something, and he goes back up there. He totally double takes, and then look at his face. He is all about that. He gets really into it. So, speaking of that, so this movie, I noticed when they were talking about the special features is that there's things that somebody can be exposed to and then continue or not. So, like in the Bible, you have David on the rooftop seeing Bathsheba bathing, and he's like, awesome, I'm just going to sit and look at this. And then you have Joseph with the Technicolor Dreamcoat, multicolored coat or whatever. That's the musical. Anyway, but what's her name? Potiphar's wife. She's like, do stuff. And he's like, no, and he runs away. So this movie kind of, the concept of the werewolf kind of goes over that, like, pull in both directions. Or you could just watch it as a really fun, like, fantasy type movie. Okay, so it's about to get very creepy in here with Larry. Larry the Creeper. But first, check this kid out. Ugh, there he is. Okay, alright, that's awkward. Angle. Okay, so he just got done super creeping on her. And he's on his way over to just be like, oh yeah, do you have any of these kind of earrings? And she's like, no, we don't. And he's like, yeah, you do. he's like up on your dresser. And it's just like, what do you do? Why are you so creepy? So the first time, so I've watched this twice now with two different friends. First time I saw it, uh, me and the friend were just very creeped out by this guy. He's total creeper. He's very pushy. He's watching her through the window. He's referencing stuff that he saw in her bedroom, and he's like trying to get her to go on a date. And she says no multiple times, which I'm really proud of her. That's really cool. But he's so creepy. Now he is very creepy, but I don't think that level of creepiness gets him what he gets. I don't think that makes him deserve what he ends up getting for that level of creepiness. And I think you get to see more of his character come out as well. So right now, he's just a total creeper on this girl, but you get to see more of his character come out, and I like what I see. Okay, one thing that all of these monster movies have done so far that I really like is they foreshadow what's coming. Whether they just use puns like a monster pun or whatever, just based whatever is going to happen, they foreshadow with those kind of words. This is a silver wolf cane with a pentagram on it. I mean, that's pretty foreshadowy, and I really like that about these movies lately. So when I was done watching this, I saw a special feature on here called on the disc called what is it? Ancient Curse to Modern Myth about the Wolfman and werewolf. And what I actually found out is they actually made up a lot of the mythology for this. So that was pretty impressive because you kind of think it's like olden timey stuff. There are Wolfman legends from everywhere, but a lot of the specifics came from this movie. Okay. Oh, well, actually, here's Larry being a total freaking creep again. I was just going to point out like the beautiful cinematography and the dark moodiness. Look at him! Look at Larry! He freaking waits till she gets off of work, and then he's just like, hey, remember how you told me no a whole bunch of times earlier? Where, well, I looked at you in the window, and so you gotta come. It's just like, what is this? He's this creepy guy. Look, he's touched her hair. He just touched her hair. This dude would get maced in this day and age, I think. Like forever ago. Like in the store, he would have got maced. Okay, and one of my very favorite things in these movies and in general, look at this creepy forest. And then you start to get, looks like maybe start of a tracking shot here. But I love me a good creepy forest inside of a soundstage. I mean, I like to find them in real life too. That's a good time. But the creepiness level of this is, I would say it is right on par with Dracula, just as far as like the mood goes. I mean, look at this. Just like the fog and the dark. You got like the perfect shot composition with the tree branches around there. Yeah, they've got the creepiness factor up to 11 right now. Okay, so here's Bela Lugosi, and I have realized that him being in a movie is something to be excited about because he's really good. I really like to see him in movies. Okay, let's see if he looks at her hand. I want to show the pentagram, the level of pentagrams in this movie. It's like a pentagram light. Let's see if we can get him to show it. Come on now. There it is. Right there, right there. So then they kind of just use like a shadow cast on her hand. But if you look at it, it almost looks like the Toy Story ball. Like it's just a circle with like a cute little star in it. So I kind of wonder, and I really think that maybe the censors of this movie wouldn't let it be like the true looking pentagram. That's my guess, because maybe then it would have to be all boycotted and everyone would be all crazy and up in arms about it. But the movie does its best with this pentagram light that it gets. So it gets on the hand of the next victim of the werewolf, and then the werewolf has it as well. And he had it right on his forehead, so maybe that's where he got bit. Actually, yeah, I think it is where they get bit. They get that. It's kind of weird. But yeah, that's my opinion. I think it's a pentagram light, and I think it was on purpose because they wouldn't let him have a good one. Look at that freeze frame. Look at that creepy tree branch. Okay. So, Larry's got old, what's her name, Gwen or something, pinned right up against a tree, right where he wants her, out in the middle of the foggy forest. And it's like, this guy is the worst. I think bad things should happen to him, and she should knee him in the crotch and get out of there, or whatever, right? But the friend that they came out there with starts screaming, and he runs out there and starts having a slapping fight with this toy dog, right there. Um, but he's really giving it his all, and he's protecting this lady. He's not just like, hey, let's get out of here, you and me that I have pinned against this tree. Like, let's get out of here. No, he actually defends this lady to his own detriment and gets injured. So even though he's a total creeper, I don't think his personality is a complete loss, because he jumps into heroic action and gets hurt defending somebody. So that makes me feel like he's a little more redeemable, because at first I was like, dude, you are so creepy. No, he is creepy, though. He is creepy. There's nothing saying he's not creepy. He's the creepiest protagonist probably. Anyway, I'm impressed that he jumps into action, because I think if someone can jump into action without thinking and do something good, then that's a show of their actual character. Okay, so then right on cue, you got the little gypsy lady rides around the corner to help out. She knows all about this stuff. And what I was gonna say about her is there's a really cool like exposition dump with her telling Larry all about werewolf stuff, and that's a really cool scene. It's just like a lot of really awesome information. And again, these movies are short. This thing's only an hour and 9 minutes long, so this is one of the really good ones of the 30 movie set. It's also one of the more like actually scary ones. I mean, it's still like 1941 scary, so it doesn't get too crazy, but it's this one is up there with the actual scary ones. Okay, these movies are getting awesome at doing the transformation thing, whether into a monster, out of a monster, or whatever. And his feet are so cool. Like, they look pretty cool while they're transforming right now. But actually, the part that really blew my mind and like took it to next level, like monsterism, is when he's walking on them. So here, yeah, right there. Look at that. Yes. Look at that. That is so cool. Very, very wolf-like. So really cool way to combine like a wolf and a man. So I love the feet effects. And then of course you get his little face there. There it is. Here's his face reveal. Boom. Okay, so the plot of this one is not too crazy complicated. Son comes to town. There's some scary stuff going on there. He meets a girl. Girl's already engaged. Scary stuff happens. Townsfolk want murderer dealt with. It's pretty similar, but I just think it does it in a really, when I say similar, it's similar to the other ones, but I think it does it in a really good way. Actually, I do want to make a comment about this. I think they're getting a little more comfortable showing the hands-on, like attacking type stuff, because he grabs him, and it looks like maybe he even gets his mouth by his neck there. Yeah, there it goes. Because everybody dies by getting their jugulars ripped out. Ooh, look at that. Look at that shot right there. So good. Anyway, I think they're being a little more okay showing actual violence instead of doing it off screen. And of course, like any good werewolf, go to church on Sunday. And look at that awesome Gothic church. I was saying that the church is a lot more creepy in the black and white. It's like, I don't know if I want to go in there. But I think that looks incredible. I don't know if it's like a matte painting or if it's an actual church or what, but it looks really cool. Okay, right here is actually one of my very favorite shots in the whole thing. So again, you've got the lady showing up to rescue the now werewolf wolfman. But right here in just a couple of seconds is one of my absolute favorite shots. Look at this thing right here. Right there. Oh my goodness. I can just pause it right there. Frame that and put that on the wall in the bathroom. Look at that. Yeah, favorite shot in the movie. I'm going to leave it there. It looks so good. But don't forget to come back for Madame Zeroni. Alright, I'm leaving it on this shot because it looks so good with Madame Zeroni. So he goes back to the girl's house and he's like throwing rocks at her window, and it's like, oh, we're in a cute 80s movie now. And it's like, no, you're a creepy werewolf and you got problems. So she comes down and she wants to help him because he's injured. And it's like, okay, cool. Helping people that are injured is great. But then she's like, I want to leave with you. It's like, let's go. And it's like, whoa, you're engaged. I know you just had a fight at the little party the other day. And so you went home with this other guy. It's like, but you're still engaged. You still haven't, like, technically broken that off, but she's like, let's run away. So I'm like, okay, are you just trying to help him, or are you like, let's be Wolfman and girl now? I don't know. I didn't find her motivations believable at all on that part. Like, if she wants to help him, it's cool, but like, why are you running away? What are you getting away from? I don't know. It was odd to me. Oh, okay. Actually, speaking of the run away with me thing, Larry here, boop. I think he shows his better side of his personality again, because he's like, no, I'm gonna go so I can protect you. And I'm like, okay, good job, Larry. You're super creep, but you at least have like some good guy parts in you, which all of us probably have super creep and some super good guy in us. So this movie's very accurate for how we all are. Okay, the one thing, well, I've said a lot of one things, but one thing I really liked about this movie was the inevitable marching towards its inevitable ending that happens. So it's like, you get bit, it's like, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, and there's like no way around it. So I really liked how this movie is just like moving on, and it's like you couldn't get off. So I felt like it was like Batman on a conveyor belt going into the fire, where it's in the old 60s show, where it's like you're going. And that's what this movie felt like. And it reminded me of at the end of Bride of Frankenstein, when her heartbeat is going, how it's just like this steady beat, just like moving you to the end of the movie. And I felt like this movie had that kind of a pace, where it's just like pushing you and all the characters through to the inevitable outcome. What is this? This is Dad tying him up in a chair so that he can get over his psychosis of being a wolf. Okay, so towards the end here, we're getting into the last crazy bit of everyone running around, chasing everyone through the fog and screaming. The girl screaming with her hand, like one hand up and one hand back. She's, "Aah!" It's like, that's how they scream in this movie, I guess. Oh, watch out, run. He's going to get you. Actually, at this part of the movie, I'm usually like, get her. All right. So now you have father versus son with the silver cane. This, I'm not counting here, but I mean, he wails on him. He hits him over and over and over and over and over and over with this thing. Yeah, he's just like letting him have it. I really want to count, but I mean, it's like comedic. Just wham, 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 wham. Like, I don't know how, yeah, right here. Where it's when he gets behind it, he's just going to town. Look at him. He's still going. Still going. And then one more for good measure. Is that it? Okay. All right. That's it. Also, look at that amazing shot again. This shot composition, this thing's blowing my mind. Anyway, the comedic amount of blunt trauma. This part is so good. Oh, boy. So another abrupt ending here. Fiance's back. Asleep for the, what is it? Asleep for the word. Asleep for the work, awake for the reward. Just like Groot. That's this guy right here. Okay, I'm just going to go a little bit over special features and we'll get into my final thoughts here. So real quick, when I see a special feature and it just starts playing and it's like, I click the display button, it's like, this is 30 minutes long. I'm just like, nope. Because sometimes I feel like it was padded to be like on a TV program with commercials, and I'm just like, no. Like, give me the dense, good stuff. And in that one, that is this right here, the Wolfman from Ancient Curse to Modern Myth. That thing is awesome. It's only like 10 minutes. And then I really like all of these like cheesy Universal, like 100 Years of Universal. This one's about the lot. And I really, that one really resonated with me because I've been to the lot a whole bunch of times. It was really cool to see it throughout the years in this little special feature. Okay, so my final thoughts on this. I really like the Wolfman. I think the protagonist is a little hard to get behind just because he's such a creeper. However, he does have some redeeming qualities. But the movie itself is so well made, and it absolutely falls in the top ones with Dracula, Bride of Frankenstein, Invisible Man, Dracula's Daughter. I think this one's right up there in the top chunk. So you kind of have like a top, middle, and bottom tier of these movies. The bottom tier, there's not too many, but this one's in the top for sure. It's just really good. It's really short, so everyone should watch it for Halloween or with friends. But it's a total classic, and it's a fun time, and you can laugh at it, even though it's like a little scary. Like it's still super laugh atable, especially with how creepy it is. Anyway, thank you for watching this. This has been a long one, but it's a really good movie. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you made it this far, and thank you. Bye.